Hey,
Hello.
here we are here for Worcestery Council Theater 3000. Hello, Bill Shaner. How are you today?
What's up, Brian? How's it going?
I'm pretty good. I'm fired up.
Me too. I'm jazzed. We're talking body cameras tonight, unless they don't talk about it. But gave a quick.
Sorry. I just meant about throwing my board games in the wood chipper.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. I just
We'll get into that.
Oh God, you hate to be scammed by the Monopoly man.
You know?
Only in Worcester. And you know what? Ralph's Tavern was so excited about that. There was no bar in this city that was more excited about that shit than Ralph's Tavern. And they do them like this. Unbelievable.
Just tell them that you're not going to put a bar on it, and then they don't go through all the trouble.
Yeah. And, maybe you just recognize a massive scam when you see it and you don't get involved.
Yeah, I was texting somebody today. They were asking me about my opinions on it. I was like, well, it's essentially a placemat at a diner. Like, it's advertising with a little bit of games mixed in.
Yeah, it's it's a pay-to-play diner mat. So freaking weird. Well, whatever.
I do not know. They did not.
The better Ralphs got so many calls and business from them thinking that they were trying to play the Monopoly game.
Here.
And it was annoying for a while.
Here.
What up, Ben White? Thanks for being here.
Ben White's in the chat, everybody.
Maybe Ben, can you break some news for us again tonight? Or
okay. Public participation.
I'm doing this fancy new thing where you can put a link in your Instagram story.
Any item on the agenda?
Oh yeah.
Do we have anybody?
Mr. Mayor, we do have a few.
But yeah, like I said, we're looking at a really light agenda tonight.
Can you please state your name and city of residence?
Almost nothing. But we'll hang out. We'll see what happens. See if there's any fireworks.
Not hearing from the resident. We're going to move on. Next calling user we have is Dylan Murray. I'm going to try to unmute Dylan now.
Hi, my name is Dylan Murray. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island.
I love your voice, Dylan.
I'm sorry, Dylan. Can you state what you were calling about?
I'm here from a news writing class, and I just wanted to sit around this meeting so I could write a story about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
the next
all right.
is Jess Martin.
Competition.
Just now.
Wow, we have competition today. We got someone in a news writing class.
For class like Dylan is too.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. The next speaker is Kimberly Tavalai.
To those people, I would say you don't have to be on the phone for that. You can just watch it online. But
yeah,
Mayor, that concludes public participation.
It's kind of weird how often that happens, where people are just like listening in by phone to the meeting. And I think it might, if you're looking at it cold from the city council agenda, it might seem like you have to do it that way. You can just watch it on the website, and you don't have to awkward be like, nah, I'm just here.
Or join us here on twitch.tv/Wootenanny.
Yes, that's right. That's an even better way.
Brought to you by Crafty Kombucha.
Yes.
That's true. Brought to you by Crafty, our wonderful sponsor. He makes such a nice product.
We do love it so much. I'm drinking
nice
elderberry.
Elderberry. I didn't get mine. I tried to yesterday, so I've been missing out. This is the second week in a row where I wasn't actually able to get my promotional product.
This is my from last time. I'm still rocking the same bottle of elderberry.
So how's the gut health going? I hear that's one of the big benefits of drinking kombucha.
It's phenomenal, to be completely honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good for you.
Yes.
It's tasty. It's good for you.
Yeah.
It's a great product.
Put up this comment by Jack Murray here.
21.
Yes, we're taking all the Providence journalists.
Yes.
They'll never go back. Hey, you know what's fucked up? Providence is like way cheaper to live in than Worcester.
Yes.
And it's like objectively a cooler city. I say that as the biggest Worcester apologist that exists. But like, fuck, man, you can get an apartment in Providence for like $500 freaking dollars, dude. And like in Worcester, you're paying that for a closet these days.
It's true.
Yes.
It's
Providence
fucked up.
also has cooler food, I think.
Yeah. Worcester's
Way
getting there,
cooler.
but Providence has a way more established food culture. I mean, Federal Hill, the Italian restaurants on Federal Hill, it's fucked up.
Unbelievable.
Gary Rosen choosing to pipe into this meeting live stream style, despite the fact that this is one of his last meetings ever. It's very, very weird to me. Why he wouldn't want to be there and bask in the glory.
It's probably an homage to us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He wants to be able to follow this too while he's
Council
there.
Bergman? Yes. Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Council Wally?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Okay, next item is recommending the appointment of Masha Mockery to the advisory.
We're still
committee
waiting for Matt Wally to go pure sicko mode.
8/31/24.
Yeah, his brain is getting so nasty, and
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time before he explodes.
Approved. Roll call.
I want to
Council
see
Bergman?
Matt Wally brandishing a gun.
King?
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Sean is the only
Yes.
late night
Rose?
TV host in the
Yes.
city of
Rosen?
Worcester, and
Yes.
Council Russell?
I would be very
Yes.
concerned to bring on Matt Wally
Yes.
at this
Council
point,
Wally?
Yes.
in
Mayor
the
Petty.
fear that he would shoot Sean in the head.
Required to recommend.
Oh, look who we have here.
Oh.
Or did for a second.
Contractors, city employees.
Did I miss
and then
public
five.
participation?
There were 5 there.
There
There was none.
Was none.
Fucking kidding.
The motion
What?
is to approve.
Say
I
hi.
don't know.
Please say hi.
Well, hi.
Go take
Oh,
a
it's
bath.
Clementine. Hey, Clementine, why don't you go to bed and read a book or something and learn something,
Oh, go to bed, read a
Council
book.
Bergman?
Yes.
Council
maybe?
Calorio?
Misbehaved child,
Council King?
just
Yes.
running
Council Merrill
wild.
Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Have a good bath.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yeah, I'm so confused because I went on to
Council
WebEx, but they
Council Toomey?
Yes.
not
Council
happy
Wally?
right now.
Yes. And Mayor Petty.
Did
Yes. Next
yeah,
item
there
is
was they literally burned. There was
9.8,
nobody
transfer
for
information of the
comments.
summary
Do you
of
want to
the
do your
listening sessions
public
on the party,
participation here?
Police party cameras.
Yeah, I'm
That's
friggin-
Oh, wait, hold on. This is the body
Wait, we got to
camera.
hear this. Though.
Okay, all those, roll call, roll call.
Council
Are they
Bergman?
holding it?
Council Calorio?
No.
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
I think they just
Council
voted to
Russell?
hold it.
Yes.
I missed
Council
that.
Toomey?
Yes.
Council Wally?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, next item is transmitting information communication relative
Yes,
to
that's
fiscal
exactly what they
year
did.
2022 fiscal update, October.
Why?
31st.
Why? It's the only thing on the agenda. Why would you
Well,
hold that?
We're gonna spend the
Let's
extra
throw
minute,
the agenda in the chat here.
but,
I got
no,
it pulled
appreciate-
up.
this has been tough times. I do appreciate Tim McGurthy and his whole staff.
And here, hold on. I'll put it in the private chat, then we can bump it
Send
over
that
into
to
the
MO,
live
with that
one.
MO.
And if you read through this thing,
Council Bergman?
and
Yes.
the body
Council
camera
Calorio?
thing was the only thing of note
Council Merrill
of
Carlson?
even
Yes.
mild
Rivera?
importance on this agenda.
Yes.
And I mean,
Council
last
Rose?
week we were
Yes.
dealing with a
Council
light
Rosen?
council meeting, but
Yes.
this is
Council
like
Russell?
beyond the
Yes.
pale.
Council Toomey?
There is nothing
Council
here.
Wally?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
It's almost like not even worth
Yes.
meeting.
We have
Yeah, they're
9.36A.
trying to
These are the
burn
findings
through
items,
this.
9.36A through C and 9.37A. Motions adopt on the roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Council Wally?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they tried to shut us down, everybody, but looks like we are
So,
back.
under the business of the city manager,
Matt
we have
Wally
two items that's
unplugged
given
the
under
internet
privilege.
from Worcester.
by Council Rivera. First one is request the city clerk research the feasibility of authorizing legal residents who have not been naturalized yet to vote in elections at the local level. Council Rivera?
Yeah, I'd like to table this item. I've been meeting with some
Okay.
folks in the community and they haven't had a time, so I was going to see if we can just table this.
Okay, so the motion.
Interesting. All right, so we're not going to talk about that either. We got one thing left on here.
Council Bergman.
Yes.
They might set the record here
Yes.
for shortest city council meeting of all time.
Councilmember Carlson.
It's
Yes.
crazy.
Council Rivera.
Yes.
Council
Good
Rose.
Lord.
Yes.
Council Rosen.
Yes.
Council Russell.
Yeah, there's one more tabled under privilege item, and then that's it.
Council Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Council Rivera requested the city manager consider prioritizing the ARPA funding for the Rec Worcester's capital project involving the Department of the new Rec Worcester headquarters at the Center of the Food, Justice, and Urban Agriculture for Worcester and Central Massachusetts in an effort to support community food security as well as youth development and employment. This was tabled under privilege. Councilor Rivera.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to table this item also for the same reason, just there's a group of people working on this, so we wanted to have a little more time.
Okay. Motion is the table. Roll call.
I think it's
Council Bergman.
because they know we're doing the
Yes.
show,
King.
Yes.
and
Councilmember
they don't
Carlson.
want any more like really cool and awesome jokes about them getting out. So they're just not going to meet again until we give up.
Council Toomey.
Yes.
Council Wally.
They're terrified of us. What could they possibly be
Yes,
scared
that
of?
brings us to
I
the
don't-
end of the meeting.
Truly don't understand.
And we'll make up for it next week. But Councilor Toomey.
Under suspension.
Okay.
Wow.
And so we motions go under suspension. A roll call.
Council Bergman.
Yes.
Council Calorio.
Yes.
Council King. Councilmember Carlson.
Yes.
Council Rivera.
Yes.
Council Rose.
Yes.
Council Rosen.
Yes.
Council Russell.
Yes.
Council Toomey.
Yes.
Council Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We have
what the fuck?
suspension.
Under suspension, Mr. Chair. This
Oh.
being New England, we can't control the weather. Should I put my mask
Yeah,
up?
just so people can't hear.
Okay, thank you. This being New
Okay.
England and we can't
Can hear you
control the
fine.
weather, they've done a wonderful job at trying to pick up
Emily's
leaves.
so
where
pale.
they have. There's still quite a few leaves across the city where they've already even picked up. So I'm just wondering if we could possibly extend Ballard Street, at least Ballard Street, for 2 to 3 weeks to enable
Oh.
residents to drop off. back
Oh,
down,
just
Said
one
Ballard.
street?
Because this.
Ah, Ballard Street. Ah,
I think she was saying the drop off,
the leaf pickup, right?
like
Sure.
the wherever you can bring it to drop off.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Today, and they are going to be expanding
Sounds
several
like
drop-off,
that.
location, hours, and days in order to facilitate.
Yeah, if anyone is looking for, some great gifts for the holidays, please, we encourage you to check out Kate Toomey's Etsy page. Really, it's the greatest gift that you could give somebody besides Worcester Monopoly.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
Brendan Melican.
Sorry for the
Yes,
delay,
sir.
guys.
Well, you missed
I
the
hate
whole
to,
meeting, man.
yeah, regret to
Well,
inform you.
I'm just requesting the city manager request police chief to provide increased traffic enforcement on Florence Street.
Okay.
And I'm glad that Councilor Toomey brought that up because I've been getting calls, and so I've been requested from the Crown Hill resident association if they would consider going back to that area because they came very early on and they have a lot of leaves still in that area. if that
You know
was
what
possible.
I really like about the wood chipper idea is it opens up
City, I'm sure.
a lot of creative ways of using a wood chipper in Worcester that we haven't really thought of before.
Okay.
And we can really make that a part of our cultural lexicon
What
here.
is,
Fargo gave us most of the solutions we needed in life.
City
in Worcester.
manager.
Exactly.
Council Bergman.
Yes.
Council Calorio.
Yes.
Council
You know,
King.
Yes.
Councilmember
I think
Carlson.
Travis needs to go
Yes.
back and capture that
Rivera.
footage of when Councilor Toomey was doing
Councilor
her
Rivera.
Yeah.
dial tone
Yes.
invitation there about the
Yes.
weather.
Council Rosen.
The
Yes.
camera caught Matt Wally doing something
Toomey.
really
Yes.
interesting. You know how like Mark Zuckerberg, his eyes don't
So,
meet the
next week
uncanny
we'll have
valley
tax
sort of
vehicles on there, project
needs
tax assessment.
for life.
Reptilian.
Matt's eyes were going all over the place, like it was the AI was like trying to really hone in on what we're looking for when it comes to the uncanny valley. There was a moment there where there was something really wild going on above that mask.
His brain is frying. He's going psycho mode, and he's gonna take out half the city.
Council Bergman.
Yes.
I mean, the only
Gloria?
responsible thing
Yes.
at this point
Councilor
would be
King?
to convene a
Yes.
council
Councilor
to
Carlson?
unleash
Yeah.
Mo Bergman,
Councilor
I
Rivera?
guess, to fight Matt
Yes.
Wally.
Councilor Rose?
Yes.
I
Councilor
pay
He's a
at
monster,
least,
but we need a
Yes.
monster at this
Russell?
point.
Yes.
Just gonna
I pay
slide that cable up.
$1,000 to
Yes.
see that.
Councilor Wally?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
that was an 18-minute meeting.
I don't think it was even
cool.
18 minutes. They started a little late.
They
I think we're
started-
looking
they
at a 16, 15-minute meeting there. Like really, and Petty said that they're going to make up for it next week. And I don't know right now what he means, but I'm sure it's going to be one of the really obnoxious long things that they always talk about every year. Like maybe it's the tax rate setting or something like that. So they basically just gave themselves a bye week. If you think about it, they stuffed that agenda with almost nothing, and they held everything that was even on the agenda.
On it, yeah.
So they're strapping in for a really cool 5-6 hour meeting next week where the results are probably predetermined. So that's great. That's really great.
I mean, what they think that because it's Thanksgiving week, people aren't going to pay attention.
I don't know.
Well, you'd be right, probably, but we're going to be here.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That is interesting from a planning perspective that they'd choose to do something. And I really wish I knew what they were doing next week. That is so crazy that they have to delay this whole meeting. Let me send a text right now to figure that out.
Yeah, and if anybody in the chat has any insight into that, please sound off, because that's crazy.
I love the way they phrase it, though, that they're going to make up for it next week. Like they're going to come in with a whole routine, song and dance. There's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, right.
All the mascots are coming in. It'll be great.
A Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade of legislature. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
No, they're going to increase the police budget next March or April. That's when they do budget stuff. Is in the months ahead of July when they're legally required to set it, is in late June. And the police budget hearings, oh my God, we have to do a stream for that because that is the police budget hearing for the city council is the biggest joke of a charade of public accountability that I have ever seen in my life. It's just, you get up there and you basically just salute the troops. You say, "You're doing everything great." And the police chief goes, "Yes, I am doing everything great." And no further questions. Yeah.
Thank you, citizens.
Yeah. I mean, with a couple of more progressive people on the council at that time, it might look a little bit different. But that's going to be a real early opportunity for Attell and Two to show that they have some
Yeah,
metal.
that's gonna be the test. I think that's gonna be the big test.
That's an early test. Yeah.
Yeah, Lloyd. No, you actually cannot achieve legislation in under 20 minutes, as they just proved.
No. They didn't achieve anything besides fulfilling the open meeting law requirement that they set by posting an agenda on Friday. They didn't even have to meet. Sure, there's a schedule that they dictate months ahead of the time on when they are going to meet, but they don't have to. And they just showed there that they met without meeting. They didn't discuss anything besides saying, "Hey, can we get some traffic enforcement? And can we keep the transfer station open a little bit longer because there's still freaking leaves on the trees?"
Both of those could have been small talk of municipal government.
Yeah, both of those could have been an email. They met because no one had the forethought to be well, maybe we just don't meet this week if we're going to do nothing. They're all just well, we have to meet, so we're going to meet. Yeah. That is actually, of all the city council meetings I've watched in my however many years covering Worcester, that's easily one of the shortest. usually they'll do something, right? But that they did absolutely nothing this week.
I mean, they were like burn, like the public participation, they were burning through that. They were giving even less time to each, like when they're waiting for somebody to talk, it was like milliseconds as compared to, usually 15 seconds.
Well, I signed on to WebEx at 6:39 and it was already over. So they didn't even give it. And normally they'll do like the Pledge of Allegiance and all that stuff. So you can kind of.
Oh, yeah, true. Did they even bother to do that this week?
We might have been talking over it.
Yeah, I just had it muted, but they did it.
They did do it. Okay. That'd be really interesting if it was that much of a joke of a meeting that they didn't even bother to do the Pledge of Allegiance, which honestly, fine by me. If we can get rid of doing the Star Spangled Banner and the Pledge of Allegiance every week, I'd be happy. I'd be stoked if somebody was like, but like, I mean, again, that's just small talk and small potatoes kind of shit. So it's not really worth, it's not a hill to die on, but it's still
fascinating. And yeah, I do feel very bad for those student reporters.
Oh yeah. Yo, like they're like, oh shit, I have to turn something in by tomorrow. Like what would you like? I could pull out probably 200 words on that if I was a standard beat reporter. I'd call and I'd talk to Joe after the meeting and I'd be like, all right, well, what's on the agenda next week? Why was this such a short meeting? And write about that. But if you're a student reporter and you don't really understand Worcester, you're fucked with that. You got nothing to write about.
Yeah.
And then you look like an asshole to your professor.
Yeah. I swear to God, they didn't talk about anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. They're not fucking doing anything up there. Yeah, but I mean, we have things to talk about. I think there you go. There we go. Shaun, what did you do?
This needed to happen. We needed to talk more and not make fun of anyone. They're stupid right now.
Say it again. You broke up.
Damn it. Their feelings are too hurt right now, so they need a break from us.
That's true. Yes, I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
You know what probably happened is they saw Matt Wally brandishing a gun.
Yeah.
And they were like, we better not talk about anything. Or he's going to go full Joker mode. He's going to go full sicko mode. And
he was walking around and inside of his jacket pocket just kept putting his arm in there all day.
Yeah, right,
and,
right.
Looking around, and people were like, "Oh, we can't set this guy off."
No, he's yeah. They've been getting very bad vibes from Matt Wally for the past couple of weeks, and they're afraid to meet. So they're not going to talk about anything until he's sworn off the council. And then the officer that they have stationed there for security is going to have his hands full come inauguration time. You know what I mean? They're going to have a code Wally situation. Okay, hold on. Put this up from you're one step ahead of me there. ARPA funding recommendation and tax rate in one meeting. Yeah, that's going to be a slog. We're going to be here for a very long time next week. Yeah. And, that's rude. That's fuck it. All right, so Attell, if that's true, that's fucking rude. Because to everyone who's trying to follow them and pay attention to this shit, that is so rude because they could have done ARPA this week if they were legally required for whatever reason to do tax rate next week. Tax rate is guaranteed 3-hour fucking circle jerk session where everyone has to fucking bloviate for their entire 10 minutes before voting in a way that's already been predetermined for weeks. And it's like a useless conversation to listen to, but they have to do it every year. And ARPA funding recommendations is actually fucking politically interesting and like worth paying attention to. And they're going to probably do it after the tax rate when everyone's been fucking bludgeoned to death by this stupid conversation that goes nowhere every year. And then it'll be 10 o'clock at night and they start talking about ARPA stuff, which is actually.
There you go.
It would be nice if they at least invited all of next week's public commenters who are just there to say, go fuck yourself really loud to come in this week to kind of take the edge off so there'd be more time for important conversation.
Yeah.
I wanted Ralph Tavern to bring in all the wood chippings from the Monopoly games.
Yeah.
We do
right into these chambers.
So
yeah.
I want to reset for a second here because I do want to talk about this that Attell brought up. She tagged us all in a tweet earlier. They are going to be reviewing the Fare Free WRTA on Thursday. And I think it's very important.
Thursday at 8:30, right?
Yeah, as many people as possible need to call. We need to have this on our radar that there's talk about, ending this program. They've said that they're going to go through the year, but there's no guarantee that they won't end it on January 1st.
Right.
So I think we need to make it clear that we support this.
It makes sense to end it January 1st when it's coldest in Worcester and there's snow on the sidewalks that they aren't clearing. I think we should end it then. That's the perfect time.
So there you go. 8:30 again. 8:30 a.m. Very convenient for
right for literally anybody. Yeah, if you work nights, you're asleep, and if you work days, you're on your way to work or you're already at work.
Catch the bus that day to go to the meeting.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it while you can. But so yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Email them. And yeah, it's I don't think it'll take a lot to push this back into, push it off again. There you go.
Yeah. Actually, like Attell is saying, emails before the meeting are going to probably do even more than showing up to the meeting to speak. And showing up to the meeting or piping in to give your 2 cents is great, but like a flood of emails ahead of time.
Let's change their minds or at least solidify their opinions before.
Right.
I'm gonna print a bunch of combs with my opinion on them and give them to them.
I'm gonna take a note. I'm gonna take a note about it, and I'm gonna put it in a pickleball, and I'm gonna throw it through Gary Rosen's window.
Yeah, there you go.
Is 8:30 in the morning too early to run a wood chipper inside a public building?
That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. We did, as you all know, we did have the Worcester Monopoly Board debuted today.
Pay to play, baby.
Yeah, hashtag justice for Ralph's Tavern. They revealed that that the company was asking for companies or for local institutions to pay money to be involved, which is hilarious, but not surprising. This is how it works.
They got out monopolied.
Yeah. So we did have today we talked about it, and Shaun had the idea that there were some really strongly missed opportunities of things that should have been on the board. I think people are even taking into account that it's an advertising scam. It is a diner mat. There were things that should have been on there that weren't on there. So we had Travis put together some what we're calling missed opportunities for the Worcester Monopoly Board.
Also, I want to share all these. Melican shared the best missed opportunity of all of the missed opportunities.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, look, the chance card, the back of the chance card should have been the old AIDS and hepatitis C have not been controlled in the Piedmont area sign. I mean, it basically is the old school chance card, the font and all. Yeah. What better Worcester chance is there?
Oh boy, that's nasty.
So let's, Travis, you want to throw a few of those up that you made earlier today?
You just showed the bridge one.
Yeah, the bridge. That's clearly that's huge real estate. Like what? Speaks for itself. I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? We're apparently unable to lose this landmark. The most important thing that's ever happened.
It's an adorable Columbus.
Yeah, can you go back to that, Travis? I meant to mention that earlier. I was driving when you.
He's so cute.
If that was the statue, then I think we're good.
Yeah.
There's the.
I mean, come
There
on.
it is.
That is the card.
It's the same layout as the chance card. Yeah.
Who took that photo? Is that a Dorado?
You know, I don't know that if I'm not mistaken, that was from Worcester magazine, and as far as I can tell, it's the only photograph of that sign that actually exists, which is weird because it was like, I mean, it was kind of like a landmark for a long time. Sadly,
absolutely.
And Worcester rocks.
The BO Railroad. Bourbon stinks. Gary Rosen actually was slipping this into all the boards as they're selling at Worcester Wares, and that's entertainment. This is maybe my favorite one. This is incredible. So yeah, if you have
that's all we got.
Yeah,
but we should always make more.
That's right. That's right.
Just the most incredible.
I want to make like a oh, sorry.
Oh, this fucking guy in his fancy elevator.
Yeah,
I have the tallest apartment in the city. I overlook everybody.
Shaun Connolly looks down on everyone. You heard it here, folks.
Wow. What, do you think you're better than me?
In fact, I know I am.
So yeah, if you guys have ideas, anybody in the chat for Monopoly cards throughout the week, throw them at us. Maybe we'll throw some more up next week.
Hey, you know what's fucked up that I just thought about with this? So it came out that it costs a certain amount of money to have a Monopoly Square, right? Like it costs like $20,000 or something to have a Monopoly Square.
Yeah.
Up to $20,000 to have a Monopoly Square. And a lot of these Monopoly Squares are like city properties. Like Elm Park, the Bancroft Tower, Kelly Square, the Burnside Fountain, Major Taylor statue, the Worcester Airport, Green Hill Park. Did the city have to pay this fucking company like money to list? Like, did money for this?
I imagine that there was probably that's probably what Worcester did. But
oh my god, that's such a good. I need to do that. I'm writing that down right now. That's such a good fucking FOIA request.
I don't know if that's true because
no, I would say what probably is that there was some deal that was cut because the city seal is on there, so they probably have we want to do a board about the city. Let's we're going to put Worcester landmarks and stuff on it. Do you they worked with the city. I cannot imagine that there was money that exchanged hands for that.
But it would be so good if there was.
That would be amazing. Also, I truly, truly love that Turtle Boy is the worst spot on the board.
The antiquarian's on there, and they didn't pay to be on there.
Yeah. There was some local, I think that what they do is they hire local designers and or directors for input.
The beautiful thing about this, and don't get me like Monopoly and Risk are my two favorite ways to make children cry. But all this is just another great example of how nobody knows what the point of Monopoly is, right? Like the game was invented to teach the brutality and grossness of capitalism. It's not like a happy fun game. It's an everybody loses game. And here are these businesses that were so excited to be a part of the everybody loses game. And they're really upset to find out that there are no winners. Like there are a couple of people who paid 20 grand for a square of a board that's still going to be for sale on a discount 20 years from now. And then the people who weren't there at all. And really the only winners are the commenters on the Telegram who haven't lived in Worcester in 30 years and had another opportunity to confuse Ralph's Tavern with Ralph's Diner.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill, how many calls did you guys get?
Oh my god, it was a deluge of calls, and we had to be like, no, that's the other Ralph's. But what does Monopoly do besides tear families apart. And what we're seeing is our Worcester family being torn apart by this Monopoly game, as if by design. And that goes right back to what Brendan was saying about the game demonstrating the horrors of capitalism. And you really just have to you have to feel for the Ralph's Tavern crew. You know, they thought they were getting ahead. They put all their ducks in a row. They gave it their all, and it's just not going to go any for you.
They took their shot. Yeah, I mean, if anybody is interested in if there's a podcast called The Dollop, that is a comedy podcast, but they delve into historical subjects. They did an episode about Monopoly in the landlord game, and it's a fascinating story. I'm sure there's a million versions of it. It's just this one just happens to be very funny. Yeah, it's crazy. It was literally written by socialists, the original game, to show how bad capitalism was, and now it's become a wholly capitalist venture. I mean, this isn't Hasbro putting this game together. The Worcester Monopoly game is not made by Hasbro. They license the Monopoly and the symbols out to these random companies to make versions of it. You know, that's why you can get Harvardopoly and I'm sure Pearl Harbor-opoly or some bullshit.
Every sports team opoly.
I have a Mets one from when the Mets were really bad. I mean, that's all the time, but this was a specific time.
That's just specifically bad.
There's no way that Hasbro would greenlight the lunatic design that went into this board. I mean, it's
Is there a photo of the board?
Of the board itself?
Yeah.
It was up
Telegram
on.
has one up. It's awful.
Is there powwow art on it? Is there powwow
There is.
art?
So that was going to be. That's what I wanted to ask you about, Travis, and I was curious about. There are 3 murals on it, and I don't know what the deal is with how it was Slick. Was OG Slick compensated for his art?
I cannot. So, as a Powwow Worcester board member, I have not heard of any payments or any asks for permission made to these artists. I would hope that they had the foresight to go and ask these artists before reproducing their art on a piece of cardboard. But
it's going to be awfully hard to wood chip a mural, but damn it, we're going to try. We're going to try.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. I need to see this.
Yeah.
It's there's 3 murals on there, and that was my biggest question when I saw them today. It's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I mean, maybe they're completely normal, fine legal territory, but morally, if they weren't at the very least cleared, then
hold on. Throw this comment by Troubler50 up here.
Oh, sorry.
Was there a city council meeting? Yes, there was. It was 14 minutes long, and they did not discuss anything on the agenda that could have been discussed. They chose to hold for the next meeting. Joe Petty vaguely promised us that they would make up for it next week with some more stuff. And I've been texting somebody, a source of mine, this entire time, trying to figure out why exactly he said that. And my source has really no idea. But he said, "You only text me when you need intel. It's like you don't care about the real me."
Oh, I know exactly who this was.
You don't care about the real me, he said. So this is it. Obviously, going really bad for me here, and I'm backtracking now. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, "You don't care about the real me, the one that enjoys salsa dancing, and has done a photographic anthropological study of the glory holes of Appalachia." And I said, "I'm sorry I've been so selfish." And he said, "Just feels like a little more one-way bill." What? Just feels like a little more
one-way bill.
Just feels like a little one more way bill. What?
More one way?
I don't know.
It's like a cry for help, man.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you?
This person had a stroke halfway through.
Yeah.
Or
he said that he had an exhibit of his work at the Pike Rest Stop in Charlton, and I didn't even pop in to check it out. So I don't know. I don't know why the meeting was 14 minutes long, and my efforts to find out why have gone haywire. With one of my sources texting me like a jilted lover. So I don't know. Yeah.
This is your government, folks. Congratulations.
Trouble. Let's put it this way. I just want to say that if you want some context, the meeting finished faster than Aiden Kearney on his cell phone.
Ooh,
Jenny, great.
Hey, by the way, I got a version of that video that's just his face, and I can't watch it. I'm still trying to get the full video, just for what's it called? For just to have it, you know. But
museum will probably want that at some point in time.
Yeah, but I got one that's just zoomed in on his face. Oh boy. It's really fucking something.
I have fun with news that's not political.
Oh yeah,
but
what's that?
It's I have a fun little thing I just learned just now coming back home. Mairead was supposed to go to the Play Fest at Clark today. A friend of hers knew someone in it or something, or directing it or whatever. And tonight was the first opening night of the show, and the actors have decided to boycott it.
Whoa!
Because the subject, the play is about a school shooting, but then they auditioned for it, read it, blocked for it, rehearsed it. And then the night it was supposed to happen, they're like, I don't wanna.
That's a power move, in my
Isn't
opinion.
that unbelievable?
That's
incredible. They must be great actors if they pretended like they were going to do this thing through the whole thing, and then
I really want to see. Is it like a advertising move? Like everyone has to see it now because it's just been boycotted.
Yeah, this play is too real for the actors in it.
Well, I mean, they are. Let's be fair, they are crisis actors. So,
right. Yeah.
This George Soros funded festival. Drink crafty kombucha, everybody. It's
crafty kombucha, while being a great product, does not necessarily represent the views of us. How do you say that? The views of crafty kombucha, our sponsor, are not shared by us.
Oh,
there we go, like that. Yeah.
Well, Tyler Durden. There we go. Shaun, when you said it was Clark Playfest, I thought they were having a festival to celebrate Moby's best album. Remember that, guys, with Gwen Stefani?
You're on a big 1990s, early 2000s electronica kick right now, making Fatboy Slim and Moby references left and right.
Wow. Hey, listen, I got no traction on that tweet, but the song "Weapon of Choice" is about Dune. It's just there's no other way around it. It's about Dune, and no one has ever. Why didn't they put it in the movie? That seems so stupid. I hate when a song fits so well with a movie and they don't put it. Like number one spot by Ludacris is not in any of the Austin Powers movies, despite completely being full of Austin Powers references, and the beat is Austin Powers. It's just, important things. If they're not going to have a city council meeting, then I'm going to talk about Moby and Ludacris and Fatboy Slim. So it's on you, K2Me, as far as I'm concerned.
While Bill texts his lover source.
So this has been going really bad for me. I'm just going to clue you guys into this.
You're broken up now?
I said that I was at his Glory Hole artwork exhibition at the Pike Rest Stop in Charlton, but you might not have recognized me, as you would have only seen, a specific part of me that you never have before. And he said, I could pick you out of a lineup, you furry little contrarian Buddha. And I said, don't talk about my dick like that. And that's where we're at right now. So
this is good.
I do just say that I did confirm that it's exactly who we thought it was.
Yeah. It's a source close to the city council. Is all I'll say. And he knew a surprisingly little about what the city council is doing. So
Interesting.
Who doesn't love surprises, though?
no one cares. No one cares at all. No one cares. And I think that in general, that we're basically in like a post-election sort of lull period where no one really does care, which is fine.
Even lame.
But it would be nice if
that's the interesting part, that you're not even seeing like Matt Wally like go rogue, you know?
Yeah, like if I had 3 meetings left on the city council, I'd throw a couple Hail Marys. Fuck it, why not? You know? But Matt Wally is the kind of person who's definitely angling for like a cushy pre-retirement job in like the accountant's office in City Hall or something like that.
I bet you he goes with the Jay Murray's uncles. He hangs out with Tim Murray after the ONBC.
Oh yeah, you're right. Chamber of Commerce, he's a guy like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although that might hit a wall.
That may be what?
That might hit a wall.
Yeah. I don't know. So I've been doing a lot of reporting on the Sharkside demolition, and I am going to write about that. I just have been struggling with how, because it's very complicated situation. And for people who don't know, the Sharkside demolition is a DIY community skate park behind Antonio's Pizza on Park and Chandler that people have been building up for the past 5 years. And it recently just got demolished by the Kroc family, who owns that lot. And the Kroc family is like just, you know, a long-time Worcester slumlord family.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Now, I do want to point out that we did say to Attell not to mention it in this chat, and then
it is yes, yeah, and like that, even it got to the point where like on Twitter in the days following, like it literally got demolished like the next day after our stream last week, and I had people like honestly believing that that's why, and like almost like blaming Attell for like spilling the beans on the park, and it was just like coincidence.
Phil, do you know though? So was it the Crocs that actually had the demo done? So it was done privately?
Yes.
Okay.
What happened was there was an injunction filed by the city to get the Crocs to clean that property up.
Got it. In
terms of appearance. So like hedges and trimming back all the weeds and stuff like that. And there was a good amount of unhoused people living there on and off, and it required the city's quality of life team to go in and kick all those people out. And it also required the demolition of the park. So I was there over the weekend, and I saw a crew with like trash bags and a little backhoe demolishing the park. And what I don't know yet is part of that parcel is going to be some sort of gas station. Part of it is going to be some sort of retail development. And the Sharkside people knew that they were on borrowed time the entire time, but we're still able to build up a good community around that place. And it's just a shame that Warside and Sharkside, like you can't, this culture just can't find a place to exist in this city, despite the abundance of vacant lots and poorly taken care of lots and shit like that. So
yeah, maybe we kind of spin this and have these DIY skate park, like this community, kind of be a force for like cleaning up properties, like because every time they go somewhere, the city desperately needs that property all of a sudden. So maybe they just pick a place and then build a ramp, and then the city's like, oh yeah, actually we wanted to have that, so we're gonna destroy what you made. And
like we were talking about last week, just start building ramps inside that decrepit old grocery store by Coe's Pond. Just make that a Tony Hawk level, and then the city will find something to do with that property. You know,
or maybe we just try and bring back rollerblading. Maybe maybe it's just skateboarding is the problem. Like if we went hard on the rollerblading scene, then maybe that would stick.
No, the rollerblading is having a massive comeback by way of mid 20 something like Instagram girls. They are all getting into rollerblading right now.
Get on that, Worcester.
There's a group of them. There's a group of them that meet every Wednesday night and go roller skating.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a big thing. It's a big thing among a certain set.
There's something weird about, so you said the city put an injunction on the Crocs to clean that up. If you're just on Park Avenue and a casual observer looking at that parcel from Park Ave, it used to look like overgrown weeds and whatnot. Now it looks like an airstrike hit that field.
Yeah.
It does not look better in any way, shape, or form.
No. In fact, the overgrowth really concealed how miserable that lot looks. And it's weird, but I have that confirmed from the city because I was going to write about it before some details complicated it for me, and I'm still trying to figure out the best way to write about the situation. But I was going to write about, just straight up they're demolishing a skate park and kicking out homeless people again. But I think that there's a more interesting way to write about this. But for now, they just made it look shittier without a viable plan for making it less shitty looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's interesting is
don't exist.
When I was down there, I talked to a bunch of colorful people, and there were two skaters that were down there filming the demolition, and the people that on the crew that were demolishing it were getting all testy with them, and they were getting in little spats, and then they kept video cameraing the guy demolishing the park. And while I was down there with them talking to them about that, one of the skaters told me that Katie Kroc, the person who de facto manages that property, was interested in helping to preserve that in some way, because she thought it was great seeing a bunch of little 11, 12, 13-year-old kids learning how to skateboard from their 17, 18 up to 25-year-old counterparts. And there was a good mentorship program going on there, because not only do they learn how to skate, they learn how to take care of a space, build it up, make it theirs. They feel an ownership of it. And they thought they had some pull with the Kroc family to maybe institutionalize Sharkside in some way with their blessing on private property.
Right.
But the city coming in and filing an injunction to clean up the property kind of made that impossible. The Crocs were court ordered to clear it out. So
yeah, their goodwill runs up against fines, and that's
where that ends. Right. So the city is the bad guy here, but in a more nuanced way than with the Warside demolition or with the removal of the homeless encampment behind Walmart. This one's a little bit more complicated, and I just want to make sure that I'm telling the story right. So that's why it's taken so long.
Yeah, no, I think it's
because I've been trying to get in touch with the Crocs, being were they blowing smoke up my ass, or were you really thinking about preserving Sharkside in some way, and maybe having it coexist with some development there? Because you got to think about that property where Sharkside is, and for people who don't know, there's Beaverbrook Park, and then an empty lot, and then where Sharkside was, sort of right there. And the empty lot wasn't very aesthetically pleasing, and Beaverbrook Park is great, but if you just have some really ugly, it would basically be the back entrance of a strip mall facing the park. Why wouldn't you want to have a community space, a DIY skate park, buttressing that to make the property not look so terrible, And that's kind of the angle they're coming from, and I think it's worth the discussion, especially since the city is breaking ground on the Crompton skate park, of why we can't encourage and sanction the DIY culture and give them a space to build their own park, because it really is an effective youth mentorship program for the sort of kids who are not going to want to do track and field or fucking football or cross country. You know, it's for like a certain set of kid that is a little bit harder to reach than your National Honor Society student. It's for your AJ Sopranos, not your Meadow Sopranos. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's important. And that's what these people are trying to do. So yeah, so I am still trying to tell that story. I just haven't found the proper way to do so. But I got to get in a really cool shouting match with Walter Bird, the city spokesman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That must have felt good.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Fucking guy.
You gonna read us those texts now?
Yeah, it's like I'm dying to know what that one sounded like.
No, that was funny actually. So I had my initial interview with him, or I texted him being like, "Hey, I'm gonna write about this story." And I texted him at like 4:00, and then he called me at about 6, and I was at my parents' house, like having dinner. And I was like, okay, I'll do the interview now. And then I had really bad service, so I was up sitting like at the top of my parents' driveway, like crisscross applesauce with my laptop on my knees in the pitch black on speakerphone, just screaming at Walter in the dark right next to the road, like over, like he was like, well, you can't really use the language displace. And I was like, oh, I can't use the language displace for going to where a homeless person is camped out and telling them that they can't camp there anymore and moving them. That's not displacement. I can't use the language of displacement there. And he was like, yeah, well, we're not displacing or demolishing anything. And then I just started screaming at him about how, like, I don't know, it was bad.
He's a liar. He's a damn liar.
Well, yeah.
But that right there, though, Bill, I think is what highlights the sort of disconnect that is the general theme of, well, everything. Like tonight, when I came on, Kate was in the middle of her speech where she started with, we all know you can't control the weather in Worcester. Like that also goes for under or unhoused people in the city. So like squashing the one place that they have to safely hang as we're going into the coldest months of the year. Like, man, it would be really cool if you took that same approach when it came to actual human beings, not leaf pickup or whatever nonsense she was talking about. I was too distracted by Matt's head going haywire, so I didn't really get the gist of what she was talking about. But
she was just talking about how like a lot of the leaves are still in the trees, so they need to keep the transfer station open later. Which
is literally the same thing she has said every single year for the last 470 years, because it's New England, and we happen to be the one small town that loves to have the city rake your leaves for you. But
the last lingering socialist program in Worcester.
They give you warning, but like for me, they texted me at 6:00 on a Sunday night, and then Monday morning at 8 a.m. there they were to pick them up. And I said, Worcester, I appreciate this information. I just don't know what I could have done with it.
Yeah, and also the whole thing's just a racket to give out fucking parking tickets, as far as I'm concerned, because you have like no warning at all. And then, you're parked on the street if you have to park on the street, and they're just coming through and ticketing everybody and picking up the leaves anyway. So yeah, that also is stupid. But yeah, Jenny, Brendan, you're absolutely right that it's a nonsensical policy to just tell people that you don't have to leave, but you can't stay here, and get
that's
mad
not a solution. That's
when
just
they go somewhere else.
Blaming.
Literally.
But yeah, I feel like I'm fucking droning on and on. You were going to ask Jenny a question?
I just wanted to add, because you had stuff that you wanted to talk about in the public participation tonight, and we didn't really touch on it. Jenny, do you want to talk a little bit about that, or is Nate going to allow you to speak?
No, Nate will let me talk real quick. Right. Go potty, go upstairs and right up.
Okay, I will.
Go.
Nate, go potty.
Go potty, guys. Hang on, let me put my earplug so that you don't have to hear this.
Can this all be a part of next week when you do call in, though? Like, that should be the background council meeting.
This is the background when I call into city council meetings. It's like the worst, just screaming. No, I was going to call about the body camera report, because did anybody read it?
I skimmed it. I didn't read it very deeply, but I would love to hear what you came away with, what you thought about it.
I mean, like, did any of you guys go to the body camera listening sessions?
No, I was stuck at work. I couldn't go. Yeah.
But they basically just summed up like all the questions people asked. But my problem is, this kid just fell off the couch. Come here. My problem is, like, number one, every cop is going to get a new cell phone.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Just so it's easier for them to have access to the footage, which I don't think they should have access to the footage, like because what they'll do is they can write their report, and then they'll let them look at the footage and rewrite their report. Yeah. And then the other thing was the bonuses. That's Shaun. Yeah, that's Shaun.
Right. Well, Jenny, the bonuses were tied to the pilot program.
Yeah, they weren't. So everyone who got a body camera got $250, plus 87 police officials also got $250 who had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. And that's why the union supported it.
Yeah. So when they bargain for these, they're probably going to ask for bonuses. And then it's like the whole taser program. It's like they want every cop to have a taser rather than, not every cop works 24 hours a day. Why can't you share tasers?
Right.
Check out your taser.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, anything the police union supports is going to boil down to just being a new toy. They would never support. Yeah, they would never support anything that actually provided more oversight and accountability for the police department, because their job is expressly to combat anything that provides more accountability or oversight from the police department. And that's why, I mean, I am entirely against spending money on body cameras at this point, because at this point we're like 6 years behind a trend of like a technocratic neoliberal police reform that really did not accomplish anything in any of the cities that implemented it. And I don't see I don't see why we should be spending money on it. It's just more toys for the cops. And coupling body cameras with potential surveillance technologies coming down the pike is, slippery slope.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it comes down to, is that it's one of those things that's easy to couch in any way that you want to. You can say it's police reform, you can say it's police accountability, you can say it's police protection, but it really it really boils down to it's cover most of the time for the cops and more money in their pockets and in their collective pocket, and that's really their incentive in any given situation. Is not for better outcomes. It's not for better police. It's not for better, cities. It's to improve, their income.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything in the report, Jenny, that indicates what the public's access to that footage is going to be like? Like, will it be, or Bill, you might know this too, is there going to be a set of standards for records requests on that footage? Because there is some really interesting stuff that could be gleaned there other than like incidents as well, right? Like the cameras are in theory only recording when there's an interaction taking place and whatnot. Like you could learn a lot about inaction just from the cameras that are never actually recording, right? That's someone that's getting paid and isn't actually engaged with the public at all. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff that could come from that would probably blow up in the city's face if it was approached from the right perspective.
Yeah.
When I went, they basically were like, we're going to have so many hours of footage that you can request footage. It's going to take forever. And also we have to work with the district attorney and they're going to decide, like they just kind of pass it off. They're like, so the DA's office will have to decide what footage can be released to. So they don't, it sounds like no one's going to be able to get any footage.
When's the next DA election in Worcester?
Next year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
the states.
I wonder if anyone cool is going to run.
That would be interesting. I have not heard.
You have to be a lawyer and cool.
Well, Mo Bergman.
Do you actually is there anything in the requirement that says you have to be a lawyer? Like, I always thought that would be the ideal for a DA, is somebody that has zero understanding of how the law actually works, but just has a good take on how it doesn't work.
You know who I think should run for DA? Tim Connolly.
Oh shit.
And I'm gonna text him that.
That would be so good.
Oh yeah, you know what? Let's just have Molly Cronin be the DA.
Yeah, why not?
I think we're good. The memes coming out of the DA's office will be insane.
Yeah. We get announced every arrest with a meme. That'd be amazing.
It'll all be Lord of the Rings jokes. It's gonna be great.
all the grand jury puns. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean it's very extremely it's an extremely frustrating issue in how much airtime it takes up and how little positive effect it's actually going to have, and then on top of that, how much money it's going to cost. It's just
right. And also, if you want to think about it in the way that the center of city politics is going to spin it, if and when they ever do implement a body camera program, is it's going to be an effective bulwark against any sort of real police reform, because they're just going to go, oh, we don't need to do police reform. We already did that.
Yeah,
we did a body camera program. We don't need
footage.
Yeah. So I think it's just it's a waste of time. It's a dead end. It's a dumb thing to pursue.
I mean, even just in the
department as to like what their take is now, like the rank and file. I feel like this is one of those technologies that when it was first announced, like years ago, it was thought of pretty highly. But I also get the sense now that like most people want nothing to do with it for the same reasons, oddly, that like the general public, the more they learn about body cameras, don't seem to want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, how many stories are you going to read about an officer turning their body camera off before it's doing something fucked up, before you realize that it's just not an effective program? I haven't talked to anybody inside the department, and to be honest, I don't have good sources, at least inside the department, and I kind of want to keep it that way. But I know that like there's reams of studies over the past couple of years that show that they're not very effective.
Right.
They don't accomplish the stated goal. I mean, this was like an Obama era proposal out of the first wave of Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. And we've had plenty of time to study the effects of it. And it's still in Worcester, we're acting like it's some new idea. It's really fucking stupid.
Yeah, like baseball's a new idea.
No, you're absolutely right though too, because it's a technological solution that superficially could seem very useful and effective, but much like social media, give it a few years and then you realize you're just participating in the downfall of civilization.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's the other thing about it too, is that it presupposes a world in which people believe video footage. Mm-hmm. And now we know that we live in a world where that doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you have on camera. People don't believe it, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean, we saw like the clearest video footage you ever could of like a brutal execution of a person by a police officer on the street, and it didn't do anything. So I don't know.
And it got one guy. It got one guy, and it was
and
it was not even the body camera footage that got him. It was the teen girl that refused to walk away.
Right.
And
so, and even that look at now. Look at how things have already changed. Where the prevailing opinion is that this fucking kid from Kenosha, Wisconsin, is going to get off, and it's the pendulum swinging back from George Floyd. Like, what there was no pendulum swing. They got one guy that like deserved to get punished, and now again we have footage of what Kyle Rittenhouse did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's there, and it doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
So I don't know what a camera, I don't know what more footage is going to do beyond just muddy the waters more at this point.
I want to FOIA if they do get body cams. I want to FOIA every time they talk to the bike life kids. I would love to hear the roasts those kids are giving the cops.
Oh my God.
How the cops are treating them. I want to hear all the awesome things those kids are saying to him.
Those kids are so funny and cool.
They're so funny and they're so cool.
Like I went to there was a bike life meetup over in South Worcester like a couple of years ago when I was still working at Worcester Magazine, and the way that they were roasting each other was just so fucking funny, and the tricks they were doing were out of this world. Like bike life kids are a credit to the city. Who filmed? Oh my God.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, what the hell is that?
That was a weird noise.
That is a very weird noise. Did somebody move into the bed of a truck? Yeah, I mean, like, even, and this isn't a thing that we can like say like, oh, that, you know, it's different places and different like places have this problem. This is stuff that happens to a degree here as well.
Yeah,
Sean Rose ran against a cop and got, you know, has police making cutthroat gestures at him every time they drive by him.
Yeah,
like,
that's terrifying. Yeah,
and it's not. This is and this city has a relatively calm, like, relationship with police.
Sure.
You know, but still, like, I just don't know what giving them more money in any way.
God forbid something. Well, that's actually, you know what? Let's not even go down that hypothetical road. Worcester is the same as everywhere else, and the problem hasn't gone away. And the Cipro campaign was an example of that, and we dodged a major bullet by him not being in office. There he is, 2 thin blue lines, baby. Also, yeah, Jack, yes, I do. But that was I came in so hot to the to Two's party at election night, and I was talking to Jack there, and I was like, I need someone to make an Instagram for me and run it too, because I got too much to do. And he was like, I'll do it. And now we're following up on that.
Hell yeah. We're doing business here. If the city council isn't going to get business done, then you know what, motherfuckers, we will.
Yeah, by God, we will.
Well, in that case, buy my advent calendars. I've been putting them together this whole meeting. I only have a couple left.
How many left?
Take Venmo. You just you message our Instagram, and I will deliver it to you. They're beautifully packaged, individually stamped.
Wow.
And they're amazing pictures by Brianna Woodward.
Yeah, she did an amazing job with those photos.
Yeah,
also.
I actually want one.
I cheated, and I opened up the first one just to get a preview as to what I was going to be expecting, and they're great. They're gorgeous. I can't wait to see the rest.
If suggestions do come in for Monopoly, missed opportunities, I want to throw out there's some great potential too for putting together a bootleg version as well, the way it probably should have been done.
That's what I was going to suggest. Absolutely.
Especially if you find out, someone finds out too that, you know, like things like the murals that were up there weren't actually approved, and royalties and all that goes out the window, then just fuck it. Just
and then we can play as power players in the city. We can all like role play as like
okay, let's think about this. The
Crocs
token and the tokens, like there's like all the pieces, and one of them is just a regular sized potato, and it's Joe Petty.
Yes.
We got a lot of.
There are some good opportunities though with the game as is. I haven't mapped out the whole layout, but I want to try and figure. So one of my dreams in Worcester is putting together some like late night alley cat, single speed fixed gear bike races. Like I would love to take the spots that they have in the order that they are on the board and actually do just that. Like have some alley cat races, tons of beer and whatnot. Or we could do a local cannonball run and just like if you can make that whole loop in your car record time without getting arrested, you get $200.
That sounds amazing.
Do you have to go to jail in West Boylston though?
Well, I just lock up. Like just as long as you don't get arrested, right? Like so, just sticking with the theme. Yeah, you get $200.
That's a great idea. You know what else is a great idea is if we showed up to the city council meeting in tuxedos, like in Step Brothers,
The monocle.
in a monocle,
Two
and
money bags.
proposed the new, more elite version of Worcester Monopoly, and we request that the city give us like some outrageous amount, like we'll sell these to you for the low price of $100,000. You know, like pass it out to everybody.
No, it's $5,000 under. It's only $15,000 per space on our board.
Ah, yeah.
We're not greedy.
No, we're not greedy. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna make our own Monopoly board.
This so Brendan can get his water slide.
Yeah, man. That's what I need. Yeah, we could do local risk too, and just a constant onslaught on holding.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Attell, don't big time us.
Look at Attell out here caring.
Yeah.
You know, Attell just brought something up that is interesting. That I this is something I actually wanted to have a conversation with her with, but why not do it in public? I've seen a couple other cities that have used existing 24/7 fitness centers as a way to provide just those services. Because the memberships are so cheap. You take like a Planet Fitness or something like that. Like the memberships are essentially like $7, $10 a month, say. They're very, very cheap. It just seems like there's a potential opportunity that for like essentially minimal dollars, the city could providing multiple services, right? Like actually getting hand washing, bathrooms, showers, what have you, lockers, but also like, I don't know, as I get older, I'm kind of like a weird fitness guy. Like that's not any small part of taking care of yourself either, right? Like especially
right.
Well, and just in general, right? Like it seems like a win across the board. Just be giving people free memberships to gyms. It doesn't have the Y is kind of pricey, but I mean that's something that should be easy too. But there are private facilities that I'm sure would love the money.
Yeah, no, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm wondering what would be the roadblocks for that.
The downside is that people in general are petrified of the under or unhoused, right? Like anything else. So you're just going to shame people before you have an opportunity to just say, oh, no, this is a win for everybody. Like the really big guy that's doing squats, like he's probably like a total creeper and like shouldn't be here near either. But, he drives a Lexus.
The guy yelling and throwing his barbell down. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge part of it. And then my concern also is like, if you just went out and bought somebody a membership, what would Planet Fitness do to stop that once they realized what was happening? And I wonder if they would, that
would be really fun to see what they do. And especially if they act poorly.
But then my thought is like, what do you do to head that off? Like, how do you pull them into the fold and make it a PR win for them?
Yeah, right.
Well, you get the city's legal team involved and offer free representation for anyone that is discriminated against, and
right. I like the idea of forcing a public-private partnership like that. So it's fun. It's a neat idea.
If they gave each person the money to make them individual memberships, I don't think there's anything Planet Fitness could do. So
no,
if it went directly to the individual,
that's what I mean. So, but the issue
is
change
their terms of services or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. In terms of service, I think you have you have to have an address. It's the same as trying to get a job. You have to have an address. You have to have an ID, and that stuff. So how do you
have to
bypass those situations?
You have to work with them, right?
Exactly. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Again, that's not my genius idea. I've heard about it working elsewhere, and it just seems like another one that maybe it'll get here in 20 years. And,
yeah, right. We're always, at least we're like, how like in like third world countries, there'll be like somebody who like just started listening to Lana Del Rey, like like how culture like flows downstream like that.
Yeah,
we're like that for like progressive ideas.
Basically,
we get everything like 5 or 6 years after it gets proposed, like body cameras. That's a 2014 thing. It's almost 2022. We're still talking about it in Worcester.
Hey, have you guys heard about PS3? It's crazy.
You guys have Dreamcast?
I'm getting my son a Wii for Christmas. Yeah.
Speaking of Wii, Bill, are you in the bathroom?
Man, Woot Nanny's Twitch channel loves having dudes pee on stream.
Two kinds of stream.
This clip.
You're lucky I muted myself.
Our viewer count went up. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. How do we get that to happen for anyone that's so like? How do we convince Matt Wally that like the power move is doing his final meeting via Zoom from his bathroom, shirtless? Like, yeah, shirtless in the bathroom the entire meeting.
It would go viral.
It'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why
let's
not?
start working on it now.
OnlyFans has worked out very well for certain people, So, so
not some people from Department of Conservation and Recreation, but yes, everybody else.
Oh my God! Imagine Matt Wally's like, tell me to recuse myself.
Or his dominatrix is the woman on trial right now.
Oh right, yeah, that'd be cool.
Uh-oh.
Not kink shaming, but he's got a vibe. I catch that vibe from him.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
He's
this?
hiding something.
He is hiding something for sure.
All of his teeth in that smile.
Yeah, maybe he's just self-conscious. But you know what? I think I want to go with the theory that they did such a short meeting today because they didn't want to give us any material. They didn't want to get made fun of anymore. Everyone was like, I'm not filing an order. I'm going to get made fun of on Twitch. So I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I wonder if any of them actually know that we're doing this.
Kate Toomey knows. Kate Toomey knows.
Kate Toomey definitely does. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
Sean
That's
Rose
so
knows.
funny.
Sean Rose knows too.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, Attell knows. Two
True.
knows.
John, can you give us a little bit more leg while you're up like that? Thank you. Yeah.
There we go.
I'm also peeing.
Impressive.
Yeah, I think
some final thoughts.
Yeah, does anybody else have anything that they want to bring to the table?
I'm gonna head out. It's good talking with you guys. Sorry I missed the 14 minutes of heaven.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything at all, man. You missed nothing at all. Wait, throw out this comment. Let's ask me and Carrie to explain Twitch. Hold on, I'm gonna do an impression of that. Rick. It's come to my attention that the kids in the schools, when they go home on their computers, they go on the internets on their computers and they watch people do stuff on the computers and talk. And sometimes they play video games and sometimes they don't. And they just watch people talk on the computers. And I think that this is a horrible use of our students' time. So what I'm asking the superintendent to do is to block Twitch from all the city computers in the school. Every student who has a computer in the school, you should make sure that they can't get on the Twitch from their computer. And that's what I'd like the superintendent to do. Yeah.
Also,
really one of the...
Get rid of Finsta.
What a note to go out on, guys. Drink up your crafty kombucha. Ask your stores to get it. If they don't get it, tell them they can't be on Worcester's newest Monopoly board that's coming soon. For this week, remember to email Gary Rosen. Tell him that we want permanent fare-free WRTA. Send us more Monopoly ideas because now we're going to make our own board. And
that'd be
next
awesome.
week. We'll be here once again Tuesday for the city council meeting right here on twitch.tv/wootenanny. Please follow us. Please follow all these fine gentlemen on their social media. Please subscribe to Bill's Substack. Worcester sucks and I love it. He's got some, as you heard tonight, great coverage coming up and a pretty dicey relationship with the city employee that he needs to fix. So please help him do that. And
my next post will be a love letter.
There we go. Thank you all for tuning in so much. We will see you guys next time. See you next Tuesday, everybody.
See you next Tuesday.